Don't stand up, but now we're going to get started. So we're going to first welcome visiting Rotarians and guests. I see all familiar faces here, and I see a table full of non-familiar faces here. And that's on the way to it. Please stand up and tell us your names.
My name is Rona, and I'm from Maine.
Okay.
My name is Eva, and I'm also from Maine. My name is Bella. I'm Ruby's mom.
I'm Ruby. I'm here for History Day.
Perfect.
And I'm calling Toasty Rising Stars Foundation.
Thank you very much for being here. And we have another guest. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Ethan Shelton for History Day.
Perfect. Okay, thank you for being here. So today's our History Day presentation. Susan says hi from the district conference. Can we make it a little, can anybody see the screen? I don't know where's that.
Has something to do with that.
I know. I'm afraid to touch it because we actually got my computer to talk to the projector, which is a rare occasion. I believe Dustin's at the district conference as well. No, he's not actually. Hello. Okay. He decided to come and have fun and not drive all the way across. There you go. Thank you. We have a Judy report and no Judy.
I'll give a very brief one. Judy's been having a great time as usual. She's really a delight to have around. She is going to be around till she leaves for Western Safari on June 24th. So she'll be enjoying Arcata till then. She goes on Western Safari. She comes back on July 9th, probably really late, and then her flight leaves July 10th. Early in the morning, so I don't know how we're going to work those logistics out, but I dropped her off at 6:15 this morning in Eureka, where there was just a huge gaggle of exchange students that they were loading into cars to head off to Tahoe. And Judy said she brought her really warm coat because it's supposed to be 20 degrees at night.
Good grief.
Yeah, so.
All right. Well,
More
we'll
next
work with
week.
Judy next week. So for those of you who have not been to a district conference, the youth exchange presentation is really one of the high points of the district conference. They all get together. Some of them haven't seen each other in a while. It's the inbounds and the outbounds and some rebounds, and they do a presentation, and it's really, really fun. So next year, there's a district conference next year. We have no idea. We'll find out.
It's in an airplane hangar somewhere.
It's in an airplane hangar somewhere. Okay. That would be good. So, Dustin, do you want to talk about Fireside? So, the sign up genius is out.
Yeah, the sign up genius is out, so go ahead and if you didn't get it, let me know and I'll send you a new sign up. If you got it and haven't signed up yet, please do. Mark Browning, Romy, and Jessica, and Rita will offer their places, so it'll be fun, and it's going to be the week of 22nd, so the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Those guys will be doing the actual meeting. So if you can make it, that'd be great. See everybody at this week. So yeah.
And for the
So for the board retreat, that's going to be the night of June 2nd, and then Saturday, June 3rd, committee chairs. So I'll send out another sign up for that once I have everything filed. That's the where it's going to land. So yeah.
So for those new members or someone who's not attended a Fireside before, it's a chance to talk to the president-elect, talk to your fellow members about what's going on this year, what you'd like to see happen next year, and it's really a nice open conversation about everybody's individual vision for our club and Rotary in general. And the conversations are always really far-ranging, so I strongly urge especially new members to be there because you'll learn a lot, but also the more veteran members have lots to say too. Don't miss Fireside. And I'm sure you can always, if you have opinions you don't want to share generally and just want to let Dusty know, you can take him to lunch. He likes sushi. Did I wait just until your mouth was full? I tried.
I'm Vanessa Griffin. I'm a prospective member.
Thanks for being here.
All right.
And attending a fireside would be great for you too. If you wanted to get your email to Dustin before you leave, then he'll send you the sign-up genius because that'd be a way to learn about what you do. Steve brought, hey, the golf fundraiser, it's all going. I don't know how many teams we have set up. Anybody know this? 3 or 4 teams set up, and this is the Southwest Eureka Rotary project, and the money's going to polio and something else. I don't know what. But, sorry?
Is it the same day as the board?
This is the daytime, the board meeting.
No, but then you can't take them to golf courses. Really?
Make it sound okay, we need a designated driver. I was lucky enough to be in the Rotary Club Southwest Eureka with Steve at the same time as Steve Brockbank. And when I was president of that club 20 years ago, we used to recognize members. We call it finding recognitions. It was different. He worked for Wells Fargo Bank. He was my best source because he knew who was buying a new house, who was buying a new car, etc. He'd call me Thursday at the office and give me a list of people who had something big going on in their lives. And they never understood who my mole was, but he was amazing. We don't do it that way anymore. We just pay our recognitions up front, but it was fun. Okay. Community service report.
Right. Yes, it's not just the community service committee, I think it's the avenue service, and Susan asked me to get a little quick update, and you may have been hearing the ongoing saga of Little House Day. All right, and I want to tell you that Danco provided the help with the pouring of the foundation, and let's see what else is in here. And then also help with the demolition. Here's a little video clip of Little House Day. But we're rebuilding the house, which will be the Family Resource Center office at the Manila Community Center. And it's been quite the saga, but Mercer Fraser donated the cement, and we're continuing to move forward and hopefully get this thing built and ready for the Manila Family Resource Center to be using now as well. Oops, oh gosh, now how did I go back? Sorry. I don't know how to go back. Anyway, I thought there were a few other pictures of community service in there that I sent Susan. My apologies. Community service, Avenue of Service has also been doing a bang-up job with the Adopt a Highway. The last one on Earth Day. Thank you to Interact, Rotary, club members.
There's the video.
Okay. Oh, there's the video, but yes, reboot the video again. But as far as the Adopt a Highway, we ran out of pickers. I don't know. We had like 25 people out there that day, so it was awesome. So that's been a big part of what we were doing. And it has been a bit of a challenging year. We've had some big projects trying to work on the Humboldt domestic violence services, and we're doing some improvements there to their business office to make it a more welcoming place. And then I also, in this Avenue of Service, wanted Randy to give a quickie update of our Avenue of Service and what's been happening.
Well, if I can say it over the street sweeper.
I know.
Okay, no. So the Financial Assistance Committee is the committee that never meets. We've done a lot of stuff. We do everything on the internet. So of our $6,000 budget, $400 to assist 4 to 8 at-risk youth to attend a specialized intensive hands-on computer game programming taught by New Games. $400 to our Kid at Playhouse Art Summer course for summer youth workshops. $1,000 to the Area 1 Agency on Aging for their volunteer driver program. This is where they take seniors to class there I just woke up, sorry. to doctor's appointments and to the store. And $550 to the sponsor the Housing Humboldt Mural Project there on Small Boulevard. And $500 to Rising Stars Foundation. Yay! For the science fair in Los Angeles, $300 to the HSU Recreation Division to help cover expenses for bocce ball for Special Olympics. $500 for Arcata Family Service Center, Arcata Elementary School. And remember we had Laura Essiter visit our committee and talk, so we searched her down. We got her $500 for her program. $300 as a supporter for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, bowling for kids' sake. $500 to Lost Coast Camp to fund the full scholarship. And we've done that for many years. And $500 North Coast Rape Crisis Team. And $300 to keep for the homework hotline, which I guess our presidents always say we'll do. So it's kind of one of those that we had to do. But not quite sure. And $750 to Healthy Moms Holiday Gift Program. That's the one that Amy Bonner did. And that pretty much zipped our budget at December for the holiday. So we haven't done anything since December because we are out of money. So $6,000.
And John, you want to say something about the backpacks for kids is another really important project that we do with our community action service.
Backpacks for kids, if people aren't familiar with the program, you know that we pack bags with groceries that come from Food for People. That costs about $320 per kid, and we sponsor 39 kids currently, which is more than we had in the budget, so we're going to pass the coffee pot. There are a couple of ways you can help. You can, one of these things. We also take checks. One of the things that we've done in the past that we can always do is if you want to sponsor a kid for the year, it's $320. You can write a check to the club and we'll be sure that it goes to Backpacks for Kids. What that does is through the entire school year, every Friday, kids who've been identified by the schools get a bag of food for the weekend. And for some of these kids, it may be the best food they get all week. So it's a really important program. And in the number of years we've been doing it, it has been stable. It's not going away. It's not a problem we're going to solve anytime soon. So we'd like to continue doing it every year. The more support we can get from individual club members, the better. So the coffee pot is making the rounds.
In our budget last year, I think we had at least a dozen members who actually sponsored a kid. And so I've got my check here too. I hope you guys will all consider it or at least partially sponsor, because that's, I think we figured in around $2,500 if the number escapes me for contributions. Do you remember?
I think it was at least that, yeah.
At least that, or $3,000, somewhere in that neighborhood that we would get from individuals donating. So please donate and put your check or your cash in the pot.
If you make a check, please make it to Arcata Sunrise Foundation. Thank you, Carol. Is that your report?
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks very much. One of the things that the board's going to talk about at the retreat, and I hope at the firesides, is for next year developing a menu that shows what we contribute to and how much it costs. So if people have a particular passion for financial assistance or backpacks for kids or an international project, that we can let them know what, you know, they gave $400, it would do this much for this project. And I think that that's a really good way to supplement the fundraising that we do as a group through our various fundraisers, and lets people tap into what their particular heartfelt passion about our community and the world is. So we're going to talk about that, Dustin, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay. I don't know if you can hear this, it's only through my computer. Okay, Siva, no. Julie, no. Well, it's early, but Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Stand up.
Oh, okay.
Tell us the plan. Did you know it?
Party.
I think we're going to do one of my favorite things.
And that is survey all the road work and the slide work on the road 299 over to Reading and back in the same day. Yeah, it's going to be really, really fun. That's what we're going to do. So,
Wow.
yeah.
We'll expect pictures next week.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll snap a few pictures and let you all know how it's going. So, anyway. Yeah, we have Susan and I got to run over there for a little appointment and come back, and it just landed on that Monday. So that's the way it is. So maybe we'll go to lunch while we're there. So.
Water slide.
Yeah. I don't think they're open. But,
Maybe
yeah.
with the road you ought to pack a lunch.
Yeah. Olive Garden. Yeah. When you're there.
All you need breadstick.
So anyway.
Will you lead us in song, please, the other Mr. Johnson?
The other Mr. Johnson.
Oh, look, I got it. You guys.
Yeah. The song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bobby. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, guys.
And the anniversary people are celebrating early or late, but at least elsewhere. No.
Oh, that was
And the
Okay, so interact. Spaghetti Feet, tell us all about it, please. You can come up here and they have tickets too.
So tonight we have our big fundraiser. It's a spaghetti feed at the Arcata High Fab building, and that's the new building right in the side of the parking lot when you pull in. And all the proceeds are going to a Rotary club that's acting to stop child slavery. It's a really good cause, and we're just selling, spaghetti, garlic bread, a few other things. It'll be a really good dinner, and since all the parents beach is year round, there's not a lot of restaurants open, so it's another reason to come.
That's right, avoid the craziness.
Thank you.
What time is it?
6 to 9.
6 to 9.
And the tickets are how much?
$8 each or $30 for a family.
Okay. So there you go. So
Dinner's made.
dinner tonight, you don't have to worry about it. Now, are there any other announcements? Zipping through the agenda here. Okay. And now, the draw. I got a blank stare over there.
This is a new bag, it says use ball. Okay, pull out your lucky winning tickets, and we'll go right to the birthday young man. Pull out two. All right.
Okay.
So,
They are.
you match them up, match them up. Last three numbers, 8, 4, 6.
Oh, you're not going.
Not the birthday boy.
There you go. All right, the next number, sorry about this, 847.
Oh, you know they were. Right.
Are they stuck together?
I hope not, because that'd be
Jeff, if you'd like to come up and introduce the History Day program, please.
History Day is just absolutely fantastic, and you know, I badger you all to come and be judges. So all of you that are here that are judges for History Day, stand up. I don't know about you all, but I really enjoy it a ton. Basically, you get there and all the students have their boards and they're talking, and then they set up in the room and you can just feel the nervous energy. So we invited some students here today that basically exemplify History Day. So I'm going to also have Colleen Koski come up and talk about Rising Stars and
morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. Taking off from Jeff, so it depends each year kind of on the National History Day theme, the participation that kids can get behind. Sometimes there's kind of vague themes and we don't get a lot of participation. Thankfully, this year was a really good year. It was taking a stand, and that comes from the National History Day organization. And so you had anything from Julia Butterfly Hills to Winston Churchill to Robert F. Kennedy, Roe versus Wade. It was a wonderful, wonderful collection. So we had roughly, I think it was close to 500 students in Humboldt County participate. Out of those 500, 80 were named county champions, and 3 of them are here today. Very, very high quality this year. We kept hearing from judges, I have never seen projects like this. 2 of our kids that are here were in the exhibit category. There is the largest one, tons of competition in that one. And so to be named a county champion is huge. Then you have to go on to state History Day. And of course it's in Roseville or Rocklin, where you can imagine the price of a hotel there, and the gas, and the food, and the registration fee is $100 to even participate. So we are really, really grateful for organizations like Sunrise Rotary, because we got to get 72 students down there to participate. And Gary Eagles, it was always important to him to remove any obstacles to our kids from here participating. We don't want to hear that a kid can't afford to go, or a kid doesn't have anything to wear to be able to go. And so I really, really appreciate your support. It definitely takes a village to get them down there. So at State in Rocklin, there are 1,400 students this year, all the way from the San Diego, all the way up to Humboldt and Delaware County. And so you can imagine the competition there. We worked before State History Day with these kids on interview skills. We had experts that locally helped them enhance their projects. I was able to go to State History Day last year, and I was bowled over. You know, we think our kids are just rock solid, and you get down there and the competition they're facing is really, really stiff. Of the 70 that ended up going, 27 of our local students received some sort of distinction. Those that didn't had to withstand very, very tough interviews. It was just amazing, and so we have so much to be proud of in our kids here. And so the next thing to recognize is our state champions. We had 2 kids from Zane, they're 8th graders, that were actually named California State History Day champions. And so they get to go on to nationals at the University of Maryland next month. Of course, there's also an entry fee there. I mean, it's just amazing that these kids get this distinction, but now they got to find a way to get across the country and pay the registration fee and the meals and everything that goes along with that. But what a huge honor for Humboldt County. And I was talking to Fred Van Vleck, who is the superintendent of Eureka City Schools yesterday. Eureka City Schools is going to pledge $1,000 toward those kids' trip, which is wonderful. And there's another thing, it really takes a village. Next up for Rising Stars, kind of switching gears real quick, is Seal It by Literacy next Tuesday. That is kids who have received proficiency in more than 2 or more than 1 language. Some kids are doing 3, including English. Some kids are doing 2, including English. We've got German and Spanish and French and Tagalog, and there's a variety. Last year we had 90 students receive it. They're all high school seniors. This year, 129. And again, it's just a huge celebration of what Humboldt County kids can do with our support and providing a venue. These kids went through a written essay. They had to go through an oral essay by HSU professors and their teachers. And so much to be proud of. And then the last event of the school year is going to be the industrial technology, and that's the woodworking and the metals. This year we're doing something different. It's going to be the Showcase of Excellence. And we're going to have an evening event to recognize those kids, their teachers, their families, and that'll be June 6th. At Sequoia. If you would like to attend either of those events, please let me know and I'll give you the details. We'd love to have your support. I mean, to sit there at these events, to sit there and watch these kids and see what they come up with, your jaw just drops. I mean, it really is amazing. I'm sorry if I took too long. No. And the thing is, too, I really want to thank Jeff, because not only is he judge at History Day, but then we organized 2 coaching sessions post-history, post-county, so to try and really get these kids ready. And then to determine who really rises to the top that we'd like to award merit scholarships. So League of Women Voters participates, Sunrise Rotary participates, but it is hours and hours of looking at the kids' projects, of listening to their potential interviews, and then to sit in a room with 15 other people and vie for the projects that you saw. And there's Jeff saying, I really liked Greta and Ethan's. I want them to get a scholarship, but I really liked Ruby's. And someone says, but I liked Sally's, so that kind of thing. So it's a lot of deliberation. So again, to those 3 that received these scholarships, very, very high. 70 kids vying for these scholarships, and I believe 20 received them, 24 received them, all told. And so again, congratulations to you guys, and thank you for all of the hours that you give to our kids. It's wonderful.
They deserve it. So Ethan and Greta, why don't you come on up? And then you can step to the board right now, and then you can say, yeah, I was really impressed with Ethan and Greta's project here. And so just listening to them talk about it, as you will now, you'll see why. You want to put it up?
All right, so again, thank you guys for your donation and sponsoring us to go down to state yesterday. Our project is about the Chilean coup of 1973, where Pinochet rose to dictatorship in Chile. And so basically, we kind of got the idea to start this project because we both kind of have connections to Chile, where we had a foreign exchange student last year from Chile, and then we got it. Uncovering the truth.
Just stand there, hold it, Jeff.
I can't go. There you go. This is history day, not education.
Yeah.
And I was interested in choosing this topic because I went to Chile when I was younger, so I have family friends that go down there every year. So kind of both have that connection to the country, and it's cool to see that apply. Just I was talking about this actually the other day, but having visited Chile and knowing that just like 10, 20 years ago they were living in such a dictatorship, it's crazy to think that such a beautiful country had such terrible things happening in it just so shortly.
Oh yeah, well we're interested in this topic because it's a lot different than everybody else's. Everybody else seems to look for a positive stand, but we is more of a negative light to see something that somebody did not do like the right reasons, and most people don't quite realize that the U.S. dictatorships and the fact that this is still going on today is very relevant.
Yeah, so a lot of our research was based off of the people that were involved in the coup. So we kind of started with President Allende, who was the Chilean president who was dubbed socialist, and he was overthrown by Pinochet and the coup. And then a couple different important people are Kissinger, obviously, who was really, really important involved in the coup and pushing towards that, and Nixon. And then there's also business interests in Chile. That was a really important part of our project, was how because the United States had business interests in the copper mining industry, they were more inclined to support the coup and support Pinochet, who didn't want to nationalize the copper industry.
And we just decided to go with the red yarn to kind of do one of those crime scene boards to see who did it, and it shows all the connections. We've done all the intertwining connections with all the different characters in the area that are in the theme, and it really shows how central Kissinger is to everything that happened. It's really important.
And then the one thing that kind of brought our project home was our section about Victor Jara, which kind of showed the impact that Pinochet had on Chile and the Chileans. And I don't know if you guys know about him, but he was like a socialist and he was a political activist in Chile. But at one point, I think it was like 12,000 people were put into a stadium, and I think they were all killed or they were just trapped in the stadium. But Victor Jara was one of those people, and his hands were cut off, and he was a musician. So one other thing that we had was like a video of Victor Jara's last song, and it was about all those people in the stadium. Any questions at all?
How many lost their lives
3,000 people ended up dead or missing during the event. And they were noticed and disappeared.
And Salvador Allende himself?
Yeah, he was assassinated.
You talk about his daughter and her work. Her daughter Isabel is a novelist.
We're very limited on space. Word count. It's quite a lot to fit.
Yeah, it was very good experience too, just being with all those. There was some really awesome projects too at State History Day. The exhibits are phenomenal, so it was good to be in that atmosphere.
So I have a question about the logistics. When you're there at the state, do they come around and you give a presentation and they look at your board or whatever?
Yeah, we have like an interview time, so then we go and we wait, and then the judges come meet us. They stand in front of our board and ask us questions.
Scary.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And they have looked at the board before they ask you
Yeah.
questions? Or?
And they've read our process paper.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Ruby, you want to come on? Ruby DeVoe is going to talk about what? The reason? Okay.
Yeah, Ruby, I want to interrupt you for a second because I have a little story. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's too good not to share. So for County History Day, the paper judges get the papers ahead of time, about a week, and they are all HSU professors. And so they're reading through them, and all of a sudden one of our local coordinators got a call from one of them and said, I've got this paper by Ruby DeVoe of Jacoby Creek School, and this is not done by an elementary. What grade are you in, 8th grade? There's no way this can be done by a junior high student. This is college level work. I'd like you to contact the school and make sure that this is authentic, because there is no way, I can't believe this. And so the coordinator got in touch with their teacher, Kurt Goddard. I don't know if you knew this.
No.
Okay. So anyway, but it goes to show how special these kids are. So contacted and Kurt Goddard said, oh no, I know Ruby's work. This is Ruby's work. This is the kind of level of students we have here. And so then it went to, of course, those coaching sessions. And the coach who we had, again, connected to HSU, wanted to let everyone know, not only is this college level work, it is a senior in college level work. Now you can talk about your experience.
Okay, so I wrote a paper, a research paper, and it was about Harriet Tubman during the Civil War, and it was about how her work in the Civil War is often overshadowed. She's a pretty well-known figure, but she is known for her work in the Underground Railroad more so than her time in the Civil War, where she was a spy and nurse and a cook and a soldier and a leader in the Combahee River Raid. And so I kind of came across the project because I had written a previous paper in class for a project for school, and when I was done, I felt that I hadn't really covered like her whole life story. So when it came time for History Day, I chose to do a project on her time during the Civil War because I felt that was really an important part of her career as an abolitionist, and it had a lot more impact, you would say, than leading small groups to Canada and the Underground Railroad. So I felt that it was important to highlight, that version of her story that's not told so often. It was kind of, it was really interesting because a lot of people know Harriet Tubman, but I had to read a book for this school project, and I didn't realize before that either that she was even in the Civil War at all. But when I did, I realized that she was a lot more than just, like the kind of mythicized member of the Underground Railroad. She was a feminist, and she was, after the Civil War, she was very poor, but she ran a home for the needy, even though she was herself quite needy, and she was just a very complex figure, but she is really kind of only one side of her story is told very often, so I felt it was important to talk about the other side of her story, and not in another way.
That was great. Was this your first time going to state?
Yeah, it was my first time in History Day at all, in National History Day. I had done it last year, but only for school, so I hadn't entered, and I didn't even plan on entering in the competition this year. But then after I wrote the paper, my teacher said you should really enter, so I'm like, okay, and I did. But this year, I'm definitely going to do it next year. I'm going to plan on entering in the National History Day competition. Yeah.
So how does the process work with papers at state? Do you?
We submitted it online, and then the judges all read it, and then when we arrived, so all the people that were judging me, I think that at least we had 3 judges interviewing us, and so we would arrive and we would have this big mob outside the door of the library just waiting for our names to be called, and it was kind of stressful. But then you would go in and they've all read your paper and they were sitting there and they would interview you, and then it was a pretty short interview it was actually a very short interview. And then they would, judge it more based on the interview, I guess, and then send it on if they chose it, and then the next judges would read it. But yeah, so we submitted it electronically.
And Ruby, tell us how you did.
Well, I made it to the semifinals.
Did any distinctions or anything?
Well, the semifinalists, they call it the finals list, but really it's the semifinals. But yeah, that's
great.
Semi-distinction.
That is a great distinction.
Grace wrote up there on the left, on the far right.
Yeah.
Her team down there received 4th place in their category of websites, and their website was about MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Fabulous website. Maybe Brian can get the URL for us, and we can all look for it.
Okay, got that right.
And so 4th place is, as you can imagine, amazing. 1,400 kids. Awesome.
Jeff, can I just add something to Colleen's little story, which sounds really entertaining, but let me tell you how it happened at home. So Ruby had this, and she won't want me to tell you this, but we will anyway. But she had originally done this essay just because she was going to get an extra credit at school, or it was required that there was an extra credit component, and she'd been thinking about it, but she hadn't started till the night before it was due. Not quite. So she had been mulling it over, it had been, in the hopper there, but hadn't actually hit the page yet. Till probably, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. and she's like, Mom, I read my essay, can you read it when I'm done? It's like, yeah, all right. And it gets to 11 o'clock, she's like, okay, I'm done, can you read it? And it's like, it's 11 o'clock, I'm going to bed. And I read it quickly, and I gave her about 2 comments that, well, this is a bit of a run-on sentence. You can make 2 sentences out of this and 2 sentences out of that. And that was as much parental input as that essay got. And I didn't realize that right after that, I didn't even cross-check it for spelling, grammar, anything. She hit the submit button, and it's like, what? That was it? So it was very much Ruby's work.
Greta and Ruby, thank you so much for coming and sharing. And so I just there's one last thing I want to say is that this is the Bill Tanner Memorial Scholarship. And so a lot of you remember that. And so, and Bill Tanner, and so he was a history professor up at HSU and a big supporter of the community. So thank you, kids.
you very much. You all did great, and I hope that this inspires more people to be History Day judges next year when Jeff puts out the call. And thank you, Jeff, for your leadership on this and for the pancake breakfast and all the other stuff that you did. Okay, next week is a tribute to Kevin, and it's also Final Friday. Final Friday is early this month because the last week of the month are the firesides. So everybody who's on tap for donating something for Final Friday next week has gotten an email from Howard. Thank you very much for sending that out. If you are not going to be here, I can pick that from you earlier. If you just would like to attend until next year, please let me know because we still have a fairly robust goal for our foundation giving to meet, and we'd like to see that, so Final Friday will be an important part of that. And then we're dark the following week for the firesides. I'm not sure what the program June 2nd is, besides the, I think we're, probably could have done that if you tried. And the 9th, I know, is the top 10% for the Arcade High. Are there any other announcements? We're a little early and no one ever complains about being early.
Is there help needed with backpacks?
Yes.
Always.
Always help needed filling bags?
Backpacks? Okay. I'm not here to be average, I'm here to be awesome. I kind of like that. Okay, have a great weekend. Don't forget Final Friday next week and Memorial Day celebration.